thought you'd seen big machines? Get ready. Today we're going to show you real road monsters. Giant excavators that brought entire highways to a halt. Incredible wind turbine blades being transported down narrow village roads. And even entire houses that decided to move. This is a world where loads weigh hundreds of tons and drivers have nerves of steel. You're in for the most massive, most complex, and sometimes most disastrous transports in the world. Buckle up, let's go. A giant tank, like an alien sphere, slowly crawls down the highway. Every meter is a trial for the crew. There's no room for error here. One wrong move, and the sand swallows the entire show. On the side of this giant, one word is written, komatsu, and it weighs as much as an entire city block. To transport such a monster, you need more than just trucks. It's a full-on caravan of steel and nerves. When a plane no longer flies, it can still be transported. When a submarine hits the highway, it's a spectacle. A multi-ton steel giant glides along the asphalt, surrounded by crowds of onlookers and engineers. This machine, 80 meters long, is a blade for a wind turbine. To get it through narrow roads, the driver needs the precision of a surgeon and nerves of titanium. Whoa, it looks like an entire skyscraper decided to take a stroll down the highway. Every wheel here is like a member of an orchestra, and the driver, the conductor of this steel symphony of speed and power. On the road, a true skyscraper on wheels. This machine moves so slowly it feels like it's testing the strength of the asphalt. Now that's engineering, an entire factory in a single truck. This shiny beast looks like a giant thermos. Now that's a move. When your house isn't looking for a new place, it simply drives there itself. These giants spin their blades so lazily, it's as if they're saying, "Relax, humans. There'll be enough electricity for everyone, but don't rush us. We're on eco mode." When your machinery weighs as much as a block of apartment buildings, even the trailer becomes a scientific marvel. Every axle under it is a hero. Every chain, a prayer for strength. All the cars behind are nervously slowing down. What if this giant suddenly decides to take off? The entire house decided to change its address, with the foundation, walls, and even, it seems, the attic ghosts. When the cargo is so heavy, the person behind the wheel isn't just a driver, it's an entire team of engineers. When you look into the distance and think, must have imagined it, and then realize that a multi-story house is actually drifting across the horizon. When your yacht is so massive, it rolls out of the hangar like a new jet fresh from the factory. When you see this on the road, you start wondering, is it a tank or Elon Musk's new spaceship on a test drive? Feels like a new Fast and Furious Space Edition is filming somewhere nearby. When your vehicle is so large, it takes up both lanes and casts more shade than the nearest cloud. Mountain switchbacks, a rising sun, and a truck full of excavators. Sounds like the perfect moment to rethink your life choices. When your truck is longer than half the town and the only thing that can stop you is a 90-degree turn. All for one giant tank that clearly wants to show who's boss on the construction site. When the road is narrow, the turn is sharp, and the cargo weighs as much as half a mountain, the key is not to blink and to trust that the brakes are fresh. When the excavator says, "I'll save my friend," and the river replies, "Try me." When your load weighs like the moon, and you're still trying to make that turn, this isn't just delivery, it's a march of giants on Earth's roads. When a rocket goes for a walk through the city, traffic lights freeze, and drivers realize today's jam is going to be out of this world. When your cargo looks like part of a spaceship, but you're just driving through the woods. When you watch a guy hitching a trailer and realize, this isn't just logistics, it's a dance of strength and precision to the soundtrack of a roaring diesel. When a convoy shows up on the road with oversized load written across it, even the police slow down with respect. what passes you in the opposite lane isn't a truck, but an actual rocket. You start wondering if you're on a highway or live streaming NASA. When someone says, "We're moving a boat," but forgets to mention it's the size of a 3-story building. When a bridge isn't built with a crane, but by a wheeled monster that places beams the size of houses, this isn't construction, it's a Titan parade on the highway. When your cargo weighs more than all the houses on the street, and every turn becomes a math problem wrapped in nerves. It's Operation Clear the Gate without hitting it. When the mud's knee-deep but the machinery doesn't care. Welcome to the real heavy-duty ballet. Whoever pulls the first guy out is the hero of the shift. The weather calls for a drift battle, but your rig isn't a racer. An epic showdown begins: tonnage versus blizzard, persistence versus ice. By day, logistics heroes; by night, true ninjas on wheels. When your load is longer than the highway itself, every turn becomes a mathematical experiment. These guys aren't just hauling an excavator, they're conquering a mountain. When your boat says escape, but it's not surfing waves, it's gliding down the asphalt. When the transformer weighs more than a plane, the titans of transport with Megatrans written on the side come to the rescue. When your load weighs as much as a house and is as long as a train, every turn becomes an engineering performance. This load looks like a server room for aliens, and you're just the driver who has to reverse this beast. Forget nerves, you need steel Wi-Fi signal. Even the GPS says, "Bro, you're on your own." When your parcel weighs 600 tons and it's delivered not by couriers, but by 2 Titan cranes. The cranes are sweating, the engineers are praying, and one worker whispers, "Whatever you do, don't sneeze." That tractor is now officially in the amphibious class. When your train decides to try being a bus. traffic lights panic, pedestrians freeze, and the dispatcher just says, "Whatever you do, don't turn left." When your load is slightly above average, but the GPS insists, route calculated. Looks like he's not just hauling cargo, he's moving a piece of the factory with the history that built it. Cover 1. When your load is longer than a freight train, and every railroad crossing becomes a race against time. Komatsu clearly isn't digging, it's scheduling earthquakes. This might be the only time you can honestly say, "I am the wind of change." All that's missing is sirens and an epic Transformers soundtrack. When they say, "Let's coordinate," but one of the cranes decides to show off its acrobatic routine. Now this is where working in circles actually makes sense. When there's no ferry, but you've got imagination and a few planks, just don't mix up the pedals with the paddles. One wrong turn, and you might accidentally build a brand new highway. A job for those with nerves of steel and a hard hat instead of a stress ball. When you say, "Once the wind picks up, we'll fly," then remember it's not a plane, but a wind turbine blade the length of half the street. Feels like the GPS just said, "Turn left, if you can." The scale here looks like they're building a fan for the entire continent. When you try to save money on a trailer and turn your truck into an XXL shawarma, the driver is clearly counting centimeters and praying to all the logistics gods. An excavator that decided to become an acrobat. Two trucks, one load, and it looks like they're hauling not a tank, but a space rocket to the launch pad. The scale of this transport is simply jaw-dropping. Transporting a giant mining excavator brought all traffic to a standstill. This beast barely fits on the road, and people have come out just to watch the show. Drivers must demonstrate surgical precision, especially on night turns, to deliver this mega load safely. The power and complexity of nuclear energy are awe-inspiring. You have to wonder, how many hundreds of tons does this orange giant weigh? You don't see something like this every day. The trucks are crawling up a vertical cliff, maneuvering around insane turns. It's mind-blowing. The drivers of this platform are true aces. There's no room for even a centimeter's mistake. Hauling a wind turbine blade is like carrying a skyscraper sideways. The driver apparently mistook the quarry for a ramp and tried to take a shortcut. That's the fail of the year. "400 tons. Just let that sink in. A whole convoy of military police is escorting this mega load. An incredible lion statue, carved from a single block of wood, is riding on a truck. This isn't a truck. It's a land-based airship. The mysterious tarp-covered cargo is intriguing. What's hidden under there? It looks like a full-blown special ops delivery mission. These trucks seem to be breaking every law of physics, carrying loads twice their own size.